The man was blind, but he could tell the gender of a fly by its buzzing in flight. He never relied on eyes to shoot arrows, only on his hearing to lock onto targets miles away. With just a pull of the bow toward the sky, his arrow could pierce the clouds and strike the enemy's weak point. Once he had been the bravest warrior of the grasslands, but years ago, he watched his daughter killed by enemy soldiers. Grief crushed him, and he withdrew from the world. On this day, he encountered a mother and daughter cornered by pursuers. He didn't want to interfere, but suddenly a sharp sword came flying at him. Instinctively he caught it with one hand, then tossed it aside, shattering a huge rock on the ground. The mother and daughter ran up to him. The woman begged him in tears, asking him to take her daughter away. She even offered gold in return. The blind man was about to refuse when the pursuers arrived. Seeing him, they attacked at once, but in the next second, in just a few moves, he shot down the entire group. The woman begged again, asking him to escort her daughter back to the tribe. The girl was in fact the tribal princess. He didn't want to meddle in such disputes, but the mother collapsed with fatal wounds and died before his eyes. Looking at the girl on the ground, he thought of his own daughter, and pity filled his heart. He decided to honor the woman's last wish. He drew his bow and fired at the sky. The arrow struck a fleeing rider perfectly. Later the girl awoke. He learned her uncle and cousin had rebelled, forcing her and her mother to flee. Her guards arrived, urging her to return quickly, or else the uncle and cousin would seize power. For her safety, the blind man traveled with them. Days later they reached the tribe, but as she presented the golden seal, an arrow knocked it aside. Her cousin stepped forward laughing, demanding she surrender leadership. When she refused, he ordered his men to kill them all. The guards fought, but none could withstand the cousin's champion warrior. Just as the captain was about to be cut down, the blind man stepped up, caught the blade with his bare hands, and flicked it away, sending the warrior flying. The noise drew the attention of the tribe's chief commander. The princess accused her cousin of treason, but the commander declared that on the grasslands only the strong had the right to rule. If she wished to lead, she must duel her cousin. So both sides gathered in the great tent for trials. The first contest was archery. Whoever shot more falling leaves would win. The cousin stepped up confidently. His arrow pierced the target dead center, knocking down 12 leaves at once. The crowd cheered his skill. He smirked, for he was using the legendary technique of the grassland's first warrior. But the blind man shook his head, knowing he had only learned the surface. Then it was the princess's turn. The blind man knew she would surely lose, so he offered to scatter the leaves. Using his hearing and ghost hand technique, she managed to shoot 30 leaves. The commander was astonished, realizing the blind man knew the legendary warrior's skills. Then came the second contest, horseback archery. The princess's guard ignored the blind man's warning, and was thrown off the horse instantly, saved only by the commander's quick hand. The cousin shot effortlessly, hitting 12 targets in a row. The princess knew she would lose if it went on, so she insisted on competing herself. Again and again she was thrown to the ground, but she kept getting back up, never giving in. The sight moved the blind man deeply. He decided to help her. He leapt onto a horse, picked up a withered branch from the ground, and fired it into the sky. Everyone thought the blind man was shooting wildly, but in the next second, the arrow broke through the clouds and came straight down from above.